Football fans show their passion in many ways. As for Sami, he made an app devoted to this beautiful game and brought it into the clinic to investigate a problem he encountered.
For now, the code feels like a black box. I'm really curious about how it looks like behind the hood.
This and more on this episode of AI Agent Clinic. Welcome back to the AI Agent Clinic, where we work side by side to triage your broken builds, untangle your code, and help you get your agents production ready. I'm your host and lead diagnostician, Luis Sala. Now, let's welcome Sami, the brilliant mind behind Playback IQ. Sami!
Thanks, Luis. Really excited to be here.
Great.
So hi, everyone. My name is Sami. I built Playback IQ, which is probably the most personal project yet. So the idea was to give fans a beautiful pre-game brief before any match, covering both teams' road to that point, what to expect tactically, and information like dates and stadium.
Well, I bet you didn't stop there, did you?
Yeah, definitely not, Luis. Playback IQ also grabs live data from games and creates a post-game analysis.
Wow, okay, well that's enough talk. I think we need to see a demo.
Let's go.
All right. So let's do it.
So as you can see here, all the upcoming matches, all from real data. So any of these matches you can view a pre-game brief, and we'll use Brazil versus Morocco as an example. And we click watch pre-match show, and it's gonna start generating the script, and then the clips for the podcast.
Okay, so now we're loading something, and I see the word synthesizing there. What does that mean?
It is synthesizing the voice audio, a tone like a football commentator.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Holy crap, I want to see it. So at this point, we are waiting for it to synthesize the audio.
This is the theatre of the sublime.
Oh
a
my God.
colossal clash of footballing royalty that demands your absolute, undivided attention as the greatest show on earth prepares to unveil its latest masterpiece. When these two footballing titans step out onto the pitch, and the entire world will be watching to see who takes the first monumental step toward footballing immortality.
Wow, 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 wow. This is not just like a podcast. This is an audio-visual treat. We kind of got interrupted. I had begun to ask, how does this work under the hood? You were telling me that it uses Google search grounding, which is great, but there's more to it. You're using a text-to-speech engine. And the voice and the accent. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. All right. So what else does this do?
So the thing that I really like about this is the post-game breakdown, which uses data from the full match. So like a personal analyst that watches second by second and analyzes each event. So it's thousands of lines of data. So I used the Morocco versus Portugal match because I'm Moroccan and we won that match. So I had to include it. And in here you can click watch pre-match show. And this is similar to the one we just watched, but with more data. Since it already happened, it gives you all the goals and events that took place.
Okay, great. And what can we expect once this is done generating?
Yeah, so it will first start with an intro. It will, of course, hype up the fans to watch the tactical side of the match.
Well, let's watch it because it looks like it's almost done.
Yeah.
All right.
Welcome back to the podcast, football family. We are going back to Morocco versus Portugal. Transport yourself to the absolute chaos both teams endured to reach this precipice. Morocco, the Atlas Lions, clawing through a brutal path, holding Croatia, conquering Belgium, taking down Canada, and then that staggering penalty shootout drama against Spain. Portugal, on the other side, exploded through a rollercoaster group stage against Ghana, Uruguay and South Korea, before sending shockwaves through the tournament with a 6-goal demolition of Switzerland.
I love this on so many levels. I'm getting chills, right? Like it feels so immersive and so real. Now, it looks like the application does more, right?
You're gonna see circles that represent the players in real time. So this goes minute by minute, and you see all the animations when a shot is saved, when a shot is off target. And also in the corner, you see stats that in real time they update depending on what's happening in the match. And if an event interests you and you want to know more about it, you can just click on it. And here pops up a tactical analyst that you can ask. So you can click on it, it will think, it will scan all the event timelines, traces the passes, positions, and it will give you a very accurate tactical analysis of that key moment.
This is not just one application. This
Yeah.
is like 3 or 4 applications in one, isn't it? What else does it do?
I didn't show you one more thing, which is the tactical brief. You just click tactical brief, and here you choose if you want quick brief or full analysis. So let's say we want just a quick brief. We generate.
What I love about this is that it is an agent that is using Google search. It is accessing a wide variety of different tools and synthesizing audio along with that. So let's see what this does for us.
Yeah,
right.
so here, it generated the full voice synthesis, and you can just click play.
This historic quarterfinal was defined by a masterclass in defensive compaction.
I'm going to pause it there. I did notice that there's a minor UI issue, but I have a suspicion that that is not why you brought that agent here. Why did you bring your agent over? Because frankly, this looks amazing.
I really like the concept of this app. I like the functionality and animations, but one big issue is that the generation takes very long. So the fan wouldn't be hyped up after waiting 60 or 120 seconds just to watch a brief.
So there's perhaps an opportunity for performance optimization here. Normally, I would just start looking at the code, but this feels like a great opportunity to jump straight to observability, right? And observability requires instrumentation. That's adding certain code snippets to your application so that we can examine which functions take the longest time. So how do you feel about going into the code and implementing some instrumentation?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a really good idea because for now the code feels like a black box. I can't really know what's wrong with it. I'm really curious about how it looks like behind the hood.
This is the AI Agent Clinic, and we have to challenge ourselves here by giving ourselves 1 hour to implement the fixes. And the timer starts right now.
Let's go.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start with just instrumenting one function, right? And then we can instrument the rest, just to kind of get a feel for what the instrumentation could look like. My suggestion here is that we have our Antigravity IDE ready and waiting for us. So why don't we take a look at these 2 functions here. So there's this one called build preview prompt. So that's the pre-game briefing, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so this composes a prompt using the match information, right? So I can see who the teams are and so forth and so on. So that composes the prompt. And then a little further down, we have the generate preview stream. So that actually generates the audio. And I can see here in line 229 that we're invoking the Gemini or the Google GenAI SDK and the generate content function. And this is going to generate that script. It's going to output structured JSON. So this is great. So we have a data structure called the cohesive pregame script. That's going to be the entire script, and it's intended to be continuous, right? Consistent across the every segment of that playthrough. Great. Let's instrument the generate preview stream. So go ahead and take it away.
Let's go.
So what we're doing here is that we're going to use OpenTelemetry. And OpenTelemetry is an open standard for transmitting events that occur within your code to a centralized server. I've already taken the liberty of setting up a Google Cloud project for us, and it's already ready to receive telemetry for us. So what we're going to do is a little bit later, we're going to switch it to use Google Cloud, and specifically Cloud Trace, and that's where all our telemetry will be saved to. And then we can use that to analyze the rest of the code and see where our bottlenecks are. And with that, hopefully, we'll be able to identify what is the source of this delay. Okay? Antigravity creates what's called an implementation plan. And so we're going to take this implementation plan and review it to make sure that it makes sense for us. And it's proposing some changes here. It's instantiating something called a tracer, and that's just going to be a utility class that is going to be used to collect all the events that occur, and it's going to send them to the final destination, whatever that might be. And then it's going to populate certain metadata, and that's what we're seeing here, right? I want to make sure that it sends the telemetry to Google Cloud.
Yeah.
Since it's not making any changes, I think we're going to be okay, so we're going to go ahead and just tell it to proceed.
Yeah.
You okay with that? Click it. It's actually running some tests, that's what it's doing right now, which is great, right? The agentic harness is going to try to ensure that the code works, right? So that's great. Looks like it completed, and it also verified it, right? So we're getting that. And let's look at the function now. So these are the edits, right? And so we can see them highlighted here, and we can accept or decline them or reject them. And so we can see that it's basically starting what's called a span. Think of a span as a collection of related events, right? And it starts populating it with various different attributes. So let's just go ahead and accept these changes here. I'm going to accept this one first. So that's great. So that's initializing the span, and then we look here. Here in line 242, what it's doing is that it's capturing additional metadata about the LLM request. Once we deploy an application to production, we want to understand not just how well it performs, but also how much it's costing us. We want to minimize the number of tokens while ensuring a high quality output. I'm going to accept that. So I've got the implementation done, and I'm happy with this. So I think it's a good opportunity now to implement the rest of the instrumentation, regenerate some audio, and look at the reports. How does that feel?
Yeah.
Sound good? Great.
Sounds good.
So let's do it.
Guys, 10 minutes.
Okay, so let's go ahead and instrument the rest of the code. Take it away, sir.
We'll get right into it. All right.
All right, so we got an implementation plan, so it's basically the same idea as before, so we can go ahead and just click proceed. Okay, so instrumentation has already finished. We've rebuilt application, and we're gonna go ahead and run it one more time. So let's switch over to the browser. Ooh, United States versus Paraguay. So let's see what the instrumentation reveals when we go to Google Cloud Trace and examine the results. So this is Google Cloud Trace. And here we have the run that we just did. And I can see right here, look at that, 1 minute and 36 seconds, right? So telemetry is working. It's doing what we want it to do. It's sending these events straight to Google Cloud. That way we can analyze it in here. And we see that this is taking, as I said before, 1 minute and 36 seconds. So let's go ahead and click in and see what we can find. So this top line is the duration of the entire function. You see these individual segments. Right? Exactly. Like that one, the one that follows. We see that we are running the generate pregame script. So this is your script generation. And then what's this one here? Commentary.tts synth. That is your voice synthesis, text to speech or TTS routine. And right now it's running at one segment at a time. But since the script is written,
Yeah, we can just generate them in the same time.
Exactly. We can generate them at the same time. So in theory, if we look here, we see that the longest run took about 21 seconds. And so that means that in theory, we can take this process that was taking about 1 minute and 30 seconds and shrink it down to about 20. So let's return back to our Antigravity IDE. And what would you ask the agent here?
I would ask the agent to parallelize the process of synthesizing the voice, since they could happen at the same time.
So go ahead and tell the agent what to do. All right. So we can see the implementation plan. So what does it say? So it's saying we're going to execute all the text-to-speech synthesis in parallel. Great. And it's identified the functions where that happens, which is primarily generate preview string, which in turn calls _synth. Ah, interesting. Okay. Does this plan look good, or does it need any changes?
Yeah, I think it's a good plan. I think it covers all the functions that deal with voice synthesis.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and kick it
Proceed.
off.
That works 20 minutes, gentlemen.
Okay, so 20 minutes. All right, we can do this. Okay, we got 40 minutes, so we can fix this, and I bet if we're lucky, we might be able to sneak in a few extra features. All right, Sami, looks like the implementation is complete, and it ran some automated tests already, but let's go ahead and test the UI directly and see how it's working.
Let's do Australia and Turkey.
That's great, let's do that.
Yeah.
All right, so we should be expecting this to run in about 20 seconds or so if we get things right. Maybe 25 seconds, we'll see. Hopefully. All right, here it comes. It says it's going to synthesize 6 scenes.
In parallel.
In parallel, it changed the comment. That's great. I love it. So it also got rid of the counter. right? You know,
Yeah.
you had a counter that says, okay, we got scene 1, scene 2, scene 3.
Yeah, because now all at the same
Exactly,
time.
it's all going to be
Let
at
the
this.
curtain rise and the
That's-
trumpet sound,
That's
for we
great,
are
that's
on
amazing.
the precipice of the greatest show on earth, a global drama of unparalleled scale
right,
and
let's-
intoxicating.
I mean, I love this voice so much that I could listen to it forever, you know.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and see how well this is actually performing by looking at CloudTrace one more time.
Yeah.
All right, so there is the run. Now we've got a couple like really small function calls and everything else. You know what we can do here? We can actually do things like filter by duration. Exactly, you read my mind. You know what you're doing. You don't need me. All right, so we're going to say something with a minimum duration of, say, let's do it 15 seconds. That should more or less.
That's in milliseconds.
That's in milliseconds. Another great catch. You see, I flunked calculus not once, not twice, but a whole 3 times. So we absolutely need to listen to this guy right here. 16 seconds. Yeah, this is it. Oh my gosh, look at that. This is the exact same function that was getting executed before, but now it is running the synthesis in parallel. And so you see it's not now like a waterfall where it did section 1, section 2, section 3. Now they all run in parallel, and the longest one took about 23 and a half seconds or so. This is a tremendous improvement already.
Yeah, it is. It's impressive.
How much time do we have? Is anybody on the clock? Hello? Hello? How much?
Just about 30 minutes.
30 minutes, we're at the 30-minute mark. So here's a question. Would you like to be able to share this application with your friends?
Yeah, definitely. Like a lot of my friends are football enthusiasts like me, so they would love it.
So, well, it sounds to me like we have an opportunity here to deploy this to Cloud Run. So right there we have a Docker file, and a Docker file is just a series of steps, right? A series of instructions. It's basically a script or a computer program that says, this is how you're going to set up an image, right? And the image has our code. And so this particular Docker file is very short, right? Because all it really does is it copies your source code, copies the historical data set, right? This is for the 2022 Morocco game. Right? And then it builds a Python-powered application. I think what we can do here is prompt Antigravity to prepare and deploy this application to run on Cloud Run. So go ahead and give it a go.
So let's deploy this application to Cloud Run.
Excellent. So it's starting the deployment process, and we've already been seeing this pattern where the anti-gravity harness does things like sets timers. So it pauses its execution while it waits for things like the Cloud Run deployment to happen. So Cloud Build is like a CI/CD tool and a CI/CD service. Yeah, this is it. This is the image that's built, and it's already compiled it. So let's take a look just to kind of see what the output looks like, right? And what you're going to see is a very standard set of output. And so we could actually jump straight to Cloud Run, and right now it's showing that the application is not live, but if we click refresh, we might see some output. There it is. All right, and so in a few moments, we will have a URL for that service that we can click on, and now your application is out there.
Looks like finished.
Wow, that was fast. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. So that's the URL there, and we can go ahead and test this. So go ahead and click that link, and let's see the application. There it is. Back to Brazil versus Morocco. Do you think your team's going to make it?
Yeah, we will.
Okay, so this should take, once again, about 20 to 30 seconds to generate the audio, but we can always optimize Cloud.
Welcome to the grandest theater of the human spirit, where the globe shrinks to the...
This is great. I mean, the application is already deployed live to Cloud Run. Do you remember, there seemed to be a little UI bug in the post-game briefing?
Yeah.
Can we review that and see if that bug is still there?
Yeah, let's see. You can just skip to the match.
Exactly, so skip to the match.
Let's see.
Yeah, let's go ahead and fix that. And by the way, it just finished. So there's the broken image.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds to me like this is like a great opportunity to fix it. So let's go ahead and fix this.
So I will ask the AI to diagnose the issue where the sound waves are not visible.
I should note that Antigravity does support voice input, so that's always an option. Looks like it's diagnosing the problem, right? And it should add that waveform to our user interface. Oh, this is great. Okay, so what's happening right now is that it just launched a headless browser. Now, it's not doing anything as of yet, although it might have figured it out. Hold on.
It's 15 minutes, 10 minutes left.
Oh, God, 10 minutes. And we can do this. Okay, so this is the pre-match show for Morocco versus Portugal. This is correct. Oh, look, it's skipping. Okay, it's doing it. It figured it out on its own. This is great. All right. This is like magic. This is like magic. We're just watching that agent browse around and moves the mouse cursor. It clicks on things. It's going to do a full analysis, the full 7 to 9 minutes, right? It looks like the agent is having a little trouble diagnosing the problem. So maybe we need to reprompt it and be a little bit more specific. All right, so by reprompting and giving a little bit more direction and applying our web development expertise, right, and experience, we can refine where the agent searches, right, and as it goes through the process of diagnosing this. Looks like it's doing something weird with the audio here.
Yeah.
Let's diagnose what's happening. So it identified the waveform, right, element, and it was trying to extract that content. All right, how are we doing on time?
About 2 minutes left.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Okay.
You know in football where in the last 2 minutes the goalkeeper goes out to play with the players?
Yes.
I'm thinking that now it's just browsing again, so I think we should force it to just rewrite it from scratch. I don't think it understood our prompt.
Okay.
So let's
do it.
stop
Let's bring out the goalie.
1 minute.
1 minute, 60 seconds. Okay, you can. What a match, ladies and gentlemen. What a match. It is now overriding the waveform.
Okay, it's restarting the front end.
It's restarting the front end. This is good. This is good.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Oh, no. Come on.
It's browsing again.
50 seconds. All right. Oh, no. Don't do anything. It's doing it. It's doing it. 10,
Okay.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wow. Okay, so we ran out the clock. This one beat us. That last little user interface issue really defeated us. I feel really bad about this.
But Luis, we actually won. We instrumented the functions, identified the problems. We then parallelized the execution, so it's 80% faster. And then we deployed to Cloud Run. So in football terms, that's actually a win. That's 3-1.
All right, yeah. I did not think of it that way. So with that 3-1 win over our opponent, we can wrap up today's AI Agent Clinic. Thank you, Sami, for joining us. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time on the AI Agent Clinic. See ya.